that it's somebody else's fault and that we have no. And why do we do that? Is because if we can take ourselves away from what is, and the truth is the situation at hand may not be positive. If we can take ourselves away from what is, then we don't have to claim it as our own. Do you get what I'm saying? We don't have to claim it as being ours. What we can do is we can say, yeah, it was somebody else's fault. I had a discussion actually it was yesterday, with somebody, and they were talking about how talking with them about their lifestyle and the lifestyle that they chose, and how the reason that they aren't successful because they keep focusing in on men. And yes, it was a lady, and keep focusing in on men. And they couldn't understand what I was trying to say. I wasn't talking about the fact that don't go get a good man, but you need to make sure you're good first before you find a great man. You can't just depend on another man for everything. So the choice that this person is making is not conducive to creating something positive. She believes it is, but she wanted to use the excuses of, yeah, that's, but that's how women are, instead of taking responsibility of, if that is how women are, that's great, but that gives no excuse for why you're choosing to do that. Even though you're a woman, you get a chance to create something more. If I said, yeah, that's how men are, you know what I'm saying? But then DeMarcus takes no stock in there, because now I gave men the power, and I can hide behind that and not take responsibility for what the actions that happen. So ladies and gentlemen, we often hide behind these actions that continuously are happening to us and allow for these situations to take control of us when they're bad. When in all reality, if we take control over the situations that are bad, when they are bad, you know what happens? We get power. Ladies and gentlemen, leadership is about taking responsibility, not making excuses. It doesn't matter if that's how men are. It doesn't matter if that's how women are. How are you, and how are you going to take responsibility? Now, the reason I kept this quote up, and I like this, I'm going to keep it up until I move to the next slide, is because it talks about leadership. And in the terms of leadership, most people think of presidents, they think of CEOs of companies, they think of, principals at school and teachers at school, and they think of bosses at work and everything else. They think of all these things, police officer, all these things that are leading, right? But ladies and gentlemen, you are a leader. You lead yourself every single day. You lead your household. If you've got a family, you lead your household every single day. You lead yourself in everything that you do, every action that comes your way. You're a leader. So you need to be taking responsibility for all those things that are happening in your life that are not going well. Instead of saying that's how men are, that's how women are, that's how black people are, or that's how white people are, or that's how young people are, or that's how old people are, or that's how stupid people act, or that's how dumb. Take responsibility for who you are. Because the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, without the responsibility, you cannot change it. Now let me say that again, because that's huge. Without taking responsibility for what you are at the moment you are it, and all the situations are going around you, if you're not taking responsibility for the actions and the situation that you're in, you cannot change it. Here's what I mean. Imagine, if you will, if you're driving through Starbucks to get a coffee, and you open your mochaccino, frappuccino, whatever. I don't really know. I don't know. Pause. I don't know. So you order your drink, or two or three, and as you're driving up, and you're getting ready to pay, somebody walks to the window and goes, no, she doesn't want that. Give her this. You don't know who this person is, but just give her regular coffee and this. And they walk away. And then the person on the screen starts changing. You're like, wait a second, that's not what I wanted. But see, ladies and gentlemen, the person that came up to you has no control over your actions and what you actually want. But you do. You know what you want. You know what you need. You know what goals and desires you have set. So you need to make decisions that will get you there. And don't let anybody else come into where you are and take away your decision and choice. Now, let me read this. Let's go back to this one. So until you take responsibility for your life, someone else runs it. Imagine if every time you want to make a decision, someone else came behind you, just like in that coffee store, and made a decision for you. That means you have no control over your life. And that's where people want to live when things go bad. But instead, when things go bad, ladies and gentlemen, take stock in who you are. Had a really cool situation happen to me at work. I had the boss, something happened at work, and I was a little upset about it because it was dealing with the customer. And the boss was like, DeMarcus, I appreciate you because you take responsibility for your actions. I was like, who else is going to take responsibility? I can't blame somebody else. And he said something really funny about some of the other people who worked there, but that's irrelevant because that's not about what I need. The responsibility was about what I do. And I want to take the responsibility for mine because I can change it then. If I take responsibility for I'm acting a certain way, that I'm doing a certain thing, if I'm acting like a hoe, if I'm acting like a lazy bum, if I'm acting like whatever, I have to take responsibility for that and lead myself to the next level. It is in the responsibility that you find the leadership. It is in taking stock in who you are that creates the change if you want it. Because once you know what you are, you have two choices. Once you know how you fit in the situation, you take responsibility, you can either remain the same or you can take stock and change it. Only two options you have. And if you take stock and change it, now you're creating leadership that's moving you to the next level. Because guess what? People are watching you whether you know it or not. I had a really good compliment from my boss yesterday. He said, "You're religious, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, I am." He goes, "Hey, congratulations." He goes, "I can see it in you." Now, old me wouldn't have been able to be seen like that. And I'm so glad that he could see it because I'm trying to be a better man because I want this leadership responsibility. And I realize that taking control of myself now means leadership for myself in the future. And I can lead by having the right things instilled in me. That's the way I look at it, right? But to be someone be able to see some things in you because I act differently than people that are at the job. I treat people differently at the job. And they need to know and understand that this is me taking responsibility for the actions of how I want to present myself. There's so much responsibility here, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of crazy. And I got one more quote for you, and then we'll go ahead and let you go. Responsibility is accepting that you are the cause and the solution of the matter. You've often heard me say that quote, that you can't fix the problem with the same mind that created it. Well, the only thing is, ladies and gentlemen, what they're trying to say here is that you have to take responsibility for you are the reason that things are happening to you the way they are. Like that friend I was talking about who can't find a good man and she also doesn't have success. Well, there's not enough energy to put focus in everything that you want yet. So you have to put focus in things to grow it so that when this goes big, you can utilize that upward rise to grab everything else and build with it. I often say that the woman that I'm meant to be with is either going to be up there, by up there I mean that professional development level, creating responsibility, all these great things. Either she's up there already or she's traveling to get there and we'll meet there simultaneously. But I have to continue my growth and responsibility, and I have to understand that I am the cause and the solution of my matter. If I come at myself consistently and stay the same, then I will consistently get the same men and women in my circle. I will continue to date the same women in my area and all these things whenever it's not meant to be for me to be down here. It's not meant to be for you to be down here, but I made a conscious choice to make a decision. I took the responsibility to realize that I don't want to be held back based on my thoughts. I want more for myself. I want more to grab that wife, that girl, that beautiful woman I'm striving towards, who's going to have me and my beautiful children, both adopted and also, my own. All these things have to happen on that level up there because right now, if I have it right now, I may just stop growing because all of a sudden my focus changes. You hear what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and rise to the top, and I'll meet all my new circle of friends are up there. My new wife is up there. My new kids are up there. Everything. My new financial situation is up there. But I have to climb to the top of the ladder to see it. It's just like if you have your ladder placed on a wall, you climb to the top and you realize you're nowhere near the top of that wall. You need to either get a bigger ladder or get a smaller wall. And I hope you don't go get a smaller wall. I hope you go get a bigger ladder so you can climb higher. Because you can only get so far on the top of the ladder. Like you can only go to so high. But once you take responsibility of who you are, ladies and gentlemen, no one can stop where you're supposed to be going. And no one can stop for what you're supposed to be yours. But you've got to take responsibility of the good stuff and the bad stuff. Because that's what makes you more. Don't let someone else take your responsibility. Don't let somebody else own your life. Responsibility, you are the cause and the solution, ladies and gentlemen. And if you know that, until you take responsibility for your life, someone else runs your life. So if you're not taking responsibility for getting a better job, then your boss owns you. If you don't run your household, your kids do. If you don't run this, that, and the other, someone else has control. Take responsibility. It is yours. And that's all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to see you at the best, and I want to see you take responsibility for all your minds. Even the things that go bad. Don't blame somebody else. Stand forward. Stand tall. The integrity and the power it takes to stand up in front of a man or a woman and say, yes, I did that. That was something I did. That was a choice that I made. And understand that you're going to change it. Now, understand I did that in terms of meaning I'm going to change this situation. Not that I'm going to continue to do the same thing, but that I'm going to change it. Ownership. That takes integrity. Not everybody has that. Integrity is a big word, and it's not had and not used and not followed as much as it used to be. Have the integrity when someone's watching or when they're not watching to be a good person. If you want a good man or a good woman, act like it now. Have the integrity to be that now. Don't be out there, excuse my French, hoeing. If you're out there hoeing, you're not going to get the good man. Matter of fact, you might get knocked up by a bad man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Or fellas, you might knock up a bad woman because you're not acting like a good man. Be what you want to be. Take responsibility for your actions now. So when you're ready to think of responsibility as like an investment. You take responsibility now, you can invest in the future. You make a bad investment now, then you have no returns in the future. That's how I'm gonna leave it. Boom. Mic drop. Let me get a mic. I ain't got a mic. Pretend I dropped something. How about stapler drop? Stapler drop. That's all I got. I believe and I love in each and every single one of you, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. It's Friday. Do something fantastic. I know it's Oktoberfest around. Get rides, Uber, be safe, because we need you around. And that's all I have for you. You guys have a blessed day. Happy Friday.